Welcome back to Wild Drama Stories, and in today's installment, it's going to be a one-story video. Opie's sister graduated last year, and now she's about to marry her 36-year-old teacher. Opie is shocked and concerned because everybody is okay with this marriage. Let's get straight to the story, get some comments, and then we get Opie's update. Opie writes, "My younger sister is getting married to her 36-year-old high school teacher in a few days, and everyone seems okay with it. She graduated a year ago, and they told us they were dating almost immediately after the graduation. I was shocked and angry, but everyone around me was happy and supportive of them. The teacher divorced his wife 2 years ago and started paying attention to my sister. He spoke to her after class regularly and paid, quote, special attention, unquote, to her studies. I thought this was weird and talked to my sister about this, but she told me he was helping her because she was the best student of her class, which she was. A few months ago, only a few months into, quote, dating, unquote, they announced that they were engaged. I tried to talk to my parents about the age difference and stuff, but they didn't want to hear it. I talked to my sister and she told me she is happy and that she loves him. We live in a small town with a tight-knit community and everyone else is supporting their marriage. I'm feeling useless right now and I'm angry at myself. I was unable to protect my sister. I feel like I've failed my duties as an older sibling. I hate everyone around me. How do they not see what's going on here?" Opie, oh my goodness. Yeah, it's not too hard to figure out that the dating most likely started while your sister was still a student, which means that she was a minor at the time. So this brings up a lot of issues, a lot of questions. This is not good. This is not right. And I understand why you're concerned. And I'm shocked that the people around you don't seem to care, including your parents. But let's see what other people have to say. Someone writes, "My cousin did this. She was a sophomore in college and her professor divorced his wife and married her. And of course, immediately impregnated her. 10 years or so later, he left her and married another student of about 20. As a side note, the guy looked like Meatloaf." Drama story lovers, I have to say, as I was reading through all the comments, there were so many comments of people that have family, friends, in some cases they themselves, that dated their teachers, became involved with their teachers when they were their students. So many young girls that ended up marrying their teachers. Let's get another comment. Someone writes, "Sounds like Buddy was grooming her so he could lock her down before she can go out in the world and learn who she wants to be and know what she wants from life. Now he gets to use his authoritarian position to make those choices for her. That's not cool." Someone else says, "She'll never get to experience dating boys, making her own decisions, renting her own first apartment. That's all gone now. Self-discovery is a huge part of our lives, and he's taking that away from her so she can be taught like a dog on how to be his wife." Someone else comments, "As a teacher, ew, just ew. After my divorce at 28, I couldn't date men who were 23 because they felt like my students. I loved them like a mom or aunt or their teacher. I hate hearing stories like this." Let's get one more comment before we get our update from OP, and then we can get some more comments on the update. Someone comments, "Show concern, but if you cross over into being critical, she'll only get offensive of their relationship and distance herself from you. If you want to keep an eye on the situation, keep your relationship as close as possible and your thoughts about it under wraps. Even though I know that's difficult to do when you don't approve. It will make sure she feels she can talk to you and confide in you. If she senses your disapproval, she won't be as honest about what's going on if things get shaky. She won't trust your concerns if she thinks they're coming through a negative lens from the beginning. Just keep her close and be able to gently inform her when things come up so that she can navigate it. Unfortunately, that's the best you can do. Well, I have to say I agree with that last comment. Don't alienate your sister. Be there for her, be supportive, and know when to bite your tongue and not say anything. Because you do want her to feel that she can come to you if things start to go wrong. If you're too vocal with your disapproval of this, then when things do start to go wrong, she's going to feel too proud or too embarrassed to come to you. So that's very solid advice. Stay neutral, stay in a life, and be supportive. And on to our update from OP. The marriage happened. I contemplated not going to the ceremony, but I didn't want to hurt my little sister, so I went reluctantly. My blood was boiling throughout the whole thing. Everyone who came to the ceremony congratulated them. I couldn't even look the teacher in the face because I was so angry at him. I hated the whole thing. I'm leaving this town tomorrow. I had some interviews lined up and got selected in one. It's in a city and I'm moving tomorrow. I can't stand these people. My parents think that getting married to a, quote, good guy, unquote, with a stable job is the best thing that could have happened to my sister, and my relatives agreed. He groomed her. Why doesn't anyone else see that? I wanted to scream at everyone. When I told my sis I was leaving, she cried. I reassured her and told her that I wasn't angry at her. I made it clear to her that she could contact me anytime under any circumstances and that I'd be there for her. I bought her a phone and told her that I'd talk to her regularly. I tried not to antagonize anyone because I want them to reach out to me if anything happens. It was very hard to do. I came very close to fighting several people. My sister was a star student. I always thought that she would go to a big college and become someone significant. But now she's going to be a housewife. That thought is destroying me. I wasn't harsh on her because I'm hoping that she wakes up soon, and I want to be there for her when that happens. I want to support her and see her full potential, and I'm wishing it happens soon. Edit. I've told her not to have children until she's sure. She has a contraceptive implant, and I told her not to get it removed for at least a couple of years. I told her to tell me if anyone ever pressured her to have it removed. I really hope she follows my advice. And we have another edit from OP. I'm just checking the comments, and the amount of people defending the teacher is insane. People like you are the problem. She was groomed since she was 16. Why can't people see that? I wouldn't have a problem with her choices if she wasn't coerced into them. Him being an older man isn't my issue here. Him being her teacher is. Also, I don't think that being a housewife is bad. What I don't like is that the choice of something more is been taken away from my sister. As for the phone thing, my parents did not allow my sister to own a phone. She had to use the landline if she wanted to talk to people. That's why I bought her a phone. Well, OP, you are certainly doing the best you can, handling it as best you can and being there for your sister, and there's really not much more you can do at this point except be there for her when she does eventually reach out and asks for help. Let's get some more comments on this. Someone writes, start an emergency fund for her. Even a small one will help her out when she eventually decides to leave. Don't tell her you're doing it. And someone else comments, as someone who has seen something similar when I was 18, nothing is forever. We don't write off our lives as much as we think. Always be a place of support for your sister and let her see you flourish. My friend dropped out of college for a boy and his horrible, horrible family who thought women shouldn't be educated and should only be mothers and wives. I've always maintained a connection with her, despite my profound grief. And wouldn't you know it, her life is looking a lot different now. Always empower your sister. Use uplifting language when talking about her. Keep channels open with the intent of vulnerability and honesty, and don't encourage her to pursue something else. She will see you as the enemy. And someone else says, my little sister's best friend did this. He was married to another woman at the time, and as soon as she turned 18, started cheating on his wife with her. He is the biggest douche I've ever met. I knew him as a teacher in high school, and he was a straight biatch. He'd be hanging out with my sister's friends when they were like 16. I was going to parties, and old balls would be there. I'm like, what the F? Why? They're married now with 2 kids and still teaching. I'm sure he already has his next target. It's disgusting, and she's not even my little sister. But she also basically is. Close families in the hood. Every time I see him, it creeps me out. So I get you, Opie. Let's wrap this up with one last comment. I'm glad you stayed calm so that you could one last time contact your sister to make sure she knows that she can come to you safely when this falls apart. Your parents only caring about someone having a paycheck and not the fact that a grown man manipulated their child is terrible. I really hope she takes your advice and doesn't have a child with him or allow him to just keep her at home. Well, we can only wish the best for Opie's sister. She's very barely an adult. Her whole life is still ahead of her and, well, I hope this isn't going to ruin it for her. But thankfully, she does have Opie to count on and to reach out to, even if nobody else in the family seems to think anything strange about this situation. Well, that is it for Wow Drama Stories. If you did like this, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing and hit the notification bell so that you'll know when I upload new videos. Until next time, wishing you a drama-free life.